After months exploring Vanuatu's islands, we're on one of our last passages, sailing from Ambae to Ambae. It's the beginning of our journey back through the islands before we leave these waters behind. It's hard to leave a place that's given us so much, calm anchorages, kind people, and moments that will stay with us forever.
Something pretty interesting. We're on Ambae, which is one of the main islands in Vanuatu. We came in yesterday. This morning we're going to go into anchor in a volcanic crater, and it's a pretty special spot. The catch is there's a coral pass that we have to get over to get into it, and the charts show 2 metre chart datum, so 2 metre depth at chart datum. So we've waited for high tide. We've stayed next door overnight, just coming into high tide now, and about to lift the anchor, head around and just go very carefully through this pass. Yesterday we took the tender around and I actually went for a swim in the channel, had a look and made a decision that I think we're going to be okay. There are some coral rocks, high points, but we've got waypoints and a leading line or leading marks on the shore, so we'll just creep through at a couple of knots and hopefully we'll get through all good. So we're particularly wary of this because Tāiko draws 2.2 metres, so that means from the waterline down to the lowest point of the boat, which is the bottom of the keel, that's 2.2 metres. It's quite a long way. So anything that we're going to go over, we have to have at least 2.2 metres depth, but of course you need a margin as well. So it's about a 1.1 metre tide, so I'd expect it would have 3.1 metres of water to play with, and we draw 2.2. So then we just have to factor in whether there's any like higher points, coral bommies, to also factor into the height. So we'll just go carefully and show you how this goes. So with 2 other boats, which is handy. The first one is a smaller boat, it doesn't draw much at all, just over a metre I think. So they're going first, kindly. And then our other buddy boat draws 1.8. They'll go next, and hopefully they can both tell us what the minimum depth is on their chart, on their depth sounder as they go through. So just to provide a little bit of extra information for us to know how we're going to go with our 2.2 metre draft. We can't force it, so we'll have to leave. It's probably would mean a 50-mile sail today, so it's quite a major change of plan, but hopefully we can do this. There is really no local backup because of the weather, so we just have to, if we can't do it, we can't do it and we'll have to leave. So, end of story. Oh good.
But you think we can?
I think we can, otherwise we wouldn't try. So this is our depth here, in metres. So this is the crater, and this is the coral reef, and there's a couple of waypoints, so we're going to come in and cross over this way. A couple of other boats with us. There goes the first boat, going with confidence towards the coral reef, and the second boat not far behind. Just going to hold our position out here. Hopefully we'll get a report on channel 6-7 of their least depth, and then be the last little bit of information before we go across. What do you say about all this?
I'm very nervous. I have to be up on the bow to watch for coral, but if I see something, there's nothing I can do because then I must stick to the channel. So it's one of those situations that seem a bit cray-cray.
Yeah.
Anyway, we'll hopefully hear soon.
The Indigo's just coming into the first waypoint, onto the transit, it's making a turn to starboard. Indigo's just been through the first boat, and the minimum depth was 3.5 metres. So what does that give us? 1.3 under the keel, which is good. Okay. So it's confirmation. So we're going to proceed now and see how we go. Okay, up the front.
Oh, I don't know why I'm up front here. What am I going to do? Do you want me on the bow? Maybe so. He wants me to see what we're going to hit. I don't know. Torture. Of course a squall would come as we're about to enter the channel. Of course, why not? Oh my. Eek. This is torture. Oh, maybe it just looks closer than it actually is. I don't know. Okay, we're in. How is that, Skippity?
Yeah, a lot of coral visible there. Minimum depth was 3.6 metres, so pretty much what Indigo saw. It's reassuring. So yeah.
Now you have a path out.
We have a path out, which is good. But the leads are there and the...
Te Tāiko, how did you go there, mate? What did you assume and read?
Yeah, hi Indigo. We had minimum depth 3.6 metres, so very similar to yours.
There is plenty of probably room between us and these little boats behind us, or wherever you want to go, mate, really. But there should be plenty of room inside of us here, towards us, between us and the boats. Up to you.
Great, thanks Indigo. I'll talk to you soon.
Yeah, so 3.6. How did you feel?
Like a deer in the headlights.
Were you nervous?
It was just a matter of keeping on the line, you know. We did a pretty good job.
You did a great job.
Yeah.
Now I need a drink.
Yeah. Of?
Something really strong.
What did you see up here?
There were a whole lot of coral, and honestly, I don't know why I was on the bow, because there's nothing I could do about it. So there was a lot of coral, but sometimes depth is deceiving. It looks shallower than it actually is. So
Very clear, yeah.
it's very clear. But now we're in the inside of a volcano.
Only in Vanuatu.
Yeah.
Amazing.
It is absolutely beautiful. Really, really pretty. Even the water, it reminds me a little bit of New Zealand, but warmer, the colour of the water. What miscommunication did we just have?
The thing is, there was a big eruption on Ambae in 2019. The whole island was evacuated for a year while it settled down. And I just explained to Vic that we're anchoring in a volcanic crater, and she thought it was the one that blew up, so she had a little panic attack on the bow. But it's an extinct crater that we're in. The other one's a lot bigger, and you'll find there's lava and...
I knew we were anchoring in a crater, and then I asked him, is this the one that blew up? And he went, yep.
Well, of course it did, because it's a crater. But it was some time ago.
Vanuatu is no stranger to natural disasters. 83 islands scattered through Hurricane Alley, sitting right on the edge of the Pacific's infamous Ring of Fire. For the people of Ambae, that reality became terrifyingly real. In late 2017, the volcano at the heart of the island came alive. Within months, ash-blanketed villages, water turned toxic, and crops were wiped out. By April 2018, the government made an extraordinary call: evacuate the entire island. 11,000 people left their homes, gardens, and lives behind. Ferried to Santo, Maiville, and Port Vila. Some stayed with families, others in makeshift tents, waiting to return to their home. Even nearby islands felt the impact. Ash drifted across to Maiville and Pentecost. Today Ambae is slowly coming back to life. The ash is fading, gardens are greening again, and the people, as always, endure.
So we're just about to depart Lolowai Bay, which is pretty amazing anchorage. It's the crater, Caledonia. So we're going to head out of here in about 8 minutes. We're just waiting for 10 AM, and that should be quite a high tide to get back over the reef. So we'll be 3 boats departing, and we'll see what the minimum depth is on the way out. Anyway, once we're out, we'll have a 25-mile trip along the north coast of Ambae to the west. There's an anchorage at the western side called Devil's Point, where we plan to spend the night before heading on to Luganville tomorrow. So we've had a couple of days of really wet weather. We've been drying everything this morning, and everything's drying out nicely, which is good. Just topped up the diesel and engine checks, everything's good. So a few more minutes and we'll be off. We've just come through the pass, and Vic's been up on the bow. What was it like up on the bow?
It was freaking terrifying. It was so sunny, that today was worse because I could see everything, and I don't actually know why I'm up there because Adam can't do anything anyway if I tell him. Oh, I'm glad nothing happened. But what was the depth?
So minimum depth was 3.4, so it was 3.6 coming in, eh?
3.6.
Yeah, so anyway, it's all behind us now. So we had a good trip. We're just approaching anchorage, and it's fingers crossed that it's going to be sheltered enough for us to stay. So otherwise we'll probably have to carry on to Santo to Luganville, which is another 30 miles, so we'll get in the dark, which is never good. But the sailing would be okay, but hopefully we can just stop here. We'll see.
It's already 2:30.
Yeah, that'll be great, because we had the reef pass to time the reef pass with the high tide, so it'll set us off to a late start. But I can just see the other boat now in the anchorage, so it looks tucked in.
Looks beautiful.
More than I thought, so that's promising. And look, there's a cave. It's a hole.
It actually looks beautiful.
Yeah. So it's 10 minutes past 4 in the morning, and we're anchored overnight on the western side of Ambae, a little bay. Turned out to be not too bad. So we're going to be getting the anchor up in a minute and heading off across to Luganville. So it's about a 30-mile trip. Timing our arrival, so we're getting in on high slack, so we don't have tide pushing against us on the way in. Just entering the channel into Luganville. It's about 5 miles to go to the anchorage, and wind's been a bit light for us really on this crossing, but we're getting there. Should be all anchored up by 10, and looking forward to having a look around. There's a resort there that we're going to anchor off, and they're quite yacht friendly. They offer all sorts of things. They can take our rubbish, we can top up on water, have a shower even. So we're at a place called Palikulu Bay, and it's on Santo, which is the second largest island of Vanuatu. But we're about to leave. It's time to start actually heading towards Australia. Got commitments, we need to get moving. We've had a fabulous time in northern Vanuatu. We've been here for 2 months looking through the islands. We've been to numerous islands, so been having a great time. But now we've got a 169-mile sail due south to Port Vila, where we can wait for a window and head on to New Caledonia and then over to Queensland, Australia. So this is sort of the start of us moving on and heading back, or not really heading back, but moving on. So it should be a good sail. There's a bit of wind out there at the moment. It's going to swing around to be behind us overnight, and then we'll get into Port Vila tomorrow, probably early afternoon, something like that. So our buddy boat's just started up their engine, warming it through. We need to do the same and get out of this reef pass. Got quite a complicated little reef pass, but we've got our track from when we came in, so that's easy. And then get some sails up and get out and get sailing. So let's see how this goes. So we just got out of the channel and out into the open, and we're sort of punching into some choppy seas, particularly in the channel. But yeah, we're on course, and hopefully we can just get a slightly better wind angle and get the sails loaded and get sailing properly. See how we go. Any thoughts?
Some of this one is pretty big. I'm regretting my life decisions.
We're on the way down. We're just passing Marlow, which is an island just south of Luganville, and it's picked up a bit. It's a bit windy out. It's about 25 knots and a bit choppy. So what we're going to do is, it's our friend's idea actually. We're going to go to the south of Marlow and over to the other side of Malakula and head down in the lee, so that we don't have the wind effect, the sea effect. The only drawback there is we'll be further west when we leave Malakula, but the wind does come in to the north, wrap around, so it should be okay. And there's a bit of a swell once we clear Malakula too. But I think for now, because we're not making our angle, we'd have to tack later, and these aren't really great conditions. So just bore away a little bit, heading across the coast of Malo, and then we'll wrap around and get into the lee of Malakula. We're just coming into the channel between Malo and the top of Malakula, and just spotted there's quite a few breaking waves up ahead, like a patch of it. You can see as you scan across the horizon there's very little, and then there's actually quite a concentration. So just gave our buddy boat a heads up too. They're a couple of miles behind us. I'm just going to go into this, see it, and just take it as we go. We've got about a 1.3 knots against us at current. The wind isn't too bad, it's about 17-18 knots at the moment, but it is a wind against tide setup. So just see how this one works out. The plan is, if it gets too bad, we'll turn around and push further south and just forget about this idea of going around Malakula, but hopefully we can do this safely. So things got pretty wild there actually, and yeah, so we just turned around and we're doing 8 knots over ground, current's carrying us, and so quite a few breaking waves and peaky, and so we just thought, no, it took a while, but we thought, no, we're not going to do this. So now we just need to get out of this, and then reevaluate and probably head down the east coast of Malakula, and we'll just make that decision soon. So we're pretty much out of that now. We're still a little bit affected, but all the white water's gone, we left it behind, and we're just proceeding under sail, and unsure whether the white water goes right across the channel or not, but we'll find out soon what our plan's going to be, whether we head down the west coast or east coast of Malakula. So we're just making it into Port Vila Bay now. It's a bit of not much wind, and we actually had a vessel, a local vessel with no AOS across us, and it didn't give way, it needed to give way to us, and we actually had to end up doing a whole 360. It took a little while to figure out which way it was going, and several communications on the VHF with the skipper, which he wasn't very clear. And his intention was he was approaching us from the port side, crossing us, and he's just going to cross in front of us instead of giving way to us. That was a bit of a interesting thing. Anyway, we've been motoring because the wind's been very light. We've just come into Port Vila Bay and there's a bit more wind, so we've got most of the sail up and we're just motor sailing in, and looking forward to a stand-up shower, restaurant, some shops, and just general civilization. It's going to be nice. Any thoughts?
I can't wait for a shower.
Yeah, so it's been the most amazing time. So yeah, good stuff. We'll see what's next.
Thank you for watching. If you enjoy our videos, please consider subscribing, giving us a thumbs up and sharing with those who you think will enjoy it too. A massive thank you to our Patreons for your support. It means a lot to us.